Positivism has had a significant influence on educational practices, shaping how we approach teaching and learning. At its core, positivism emphasizes the importance of empirical observation, measurement, and the scientific method in understanding the world. In the context of education, positivism has led to a focus on data-driven decision-making, standardized testing, and a belief in the objectivity of knowledge. While positivism has brought important rigor and accountability to education, it also has limitations. We must be mindful of its potential to overlook the complexities of the human experience. In this presentation, we'll explore both the strengths and the shortcomings of positivism in educational practice, and consider how we can strike a balance between empirical evidence and a more holistic, student-centered approach. Positivism is a philosophical approach that emphasizes empirical evidence, objectivity, and scientific methods in understanding the world. It rejects metaphysical explanations and focuses solely on observable phenomena. Positivism was developed by Auguste Comte in the 19th century and has played a significant role in the development of modern science and social sciences. Positivism has been foundational in establishing the scientific method as the primary way of understanding the world around us. The core principles of positivism, empiricism, objectivity, and the use of scientific methods, have shaped the way we conduct research and acquire knowledge across many disciplines. Positivism is a research approach that relies on empirical evidence and measurable outcomes to test theories and draw conclusions. The key principles of positivism are empirical evidence, objectivity, and the scientific method. Positivist researchers strive to be neutral and avoid personal bias when collecting and analyzing data. The scientific method is a core part of the positivist approach, involving hypothesis testing, data collection, analysis, and drawing conclusions. This slide provides an overview of the key tenets of the positivist approach to research. Positivism assumes that events have identifiable causes that can be understood and measured through empirical observation and scientific inquiry. Based on this view, positivism suggests that future outcomes can be predicted with a degree of certainty, given enough empirical evidence. Positivism sees knowledge as cumulative and progressive, with advancements built upon systematic, evidence-based research. This aligns with the view that scientific investigation can uncover objective truths about the world, which can then be used to make reliable predictions and drive progress. Positivism is a philosophical approach that emphasizes the importance of empirical, scientific methods in understanding the world. A key aspect of positivism is the scientific method, a systematic process of data collection, analysis, and drawing conclusions. Data collection involves carefully designed experiments, surveys, and direct observations to gather objective, measurable information. The data is then analyzed objectively, looking for patterns and relationships that either support or refute the original hypotheses. Based on this analysis, conclusions are drawn that either confirm or reject the initial assumptions. The goal is to arrive at objective, verifiable truths. Positivism values this rigorous, step-by-step process as the path to reliable knowledge about the world. Positivist research aims to eliminate personal biases and ensure objectivity through standardized procedures and blind studies. Replicability is a key principle. Findings should be reproducible by other researchers using the same methods. Peer review by experts in the field helps validate the quality, validity, and objectivity of the research. The teacher plays a vital role in the classroom, serving as a facilitator to transmit knowledge and skills to students. This is done through direct instruction, lectures, and demonstrations, helping students acquire the necessary information and abilities. Assessments, such as standardized tests and quizzes, are used to objectively measure student learning and progress, allowing the teacher to gauge understanding. Effective classroom management is also crucial, with clear rules, consistent enforcement, and rewards for positive behavior to maintain discipline and a productive learning environment. Students are expected to take in information and demonstrate their understanding through tests and assignments. Each student progresses at their own pace, with teaching tailored to their individual needs and abilities. Learning often involves competition for grades and recognition, which motivates students to strive for excellence. The key focus of positivist curriculum design is on clear, measurable learning objectives that guide the entire instructional process. Positivist curriculum emphasizes comprehensive coverage of the subject matter, ensuring students acquire the necessary knowledge and skills. Content is structured in a logical sequence, building upon prior knowledge and progressively introducing new concepts. This systematic and structured approach helps students master the material in an organized and effective manner. The positivist perspective values objectivity, rigor, and measurability in curriculum design and implementation. Standardized tests are objective assessments, often multiple choice, used to measure student achievement and compare performance across a population. Performance assessments allow students to demonstrate their skills through tasks like presentations, projects, and lab reports. Grading rubrics provide clear criteria for assessing student work, ensuring consistency and objectivity in the evaluation process. These positivist assessment strategies focus on measuring and quantifying student learning, rather than more subjective or qualitative approaches. The goal is to obtain reliable, comparable data on student performance that can inform instruction and decision-making. Positivism provides measurable outcomes that allow us to track student progress and demonstrate the effectiveness of our teaching methods. Positivist approaches enable us to tailor instruction to meet the unique needs of individual learners, promoting personalized learning experiences. Clear expectations and consistent rules create a structured environment that is conducive to effective learning. These advantages of positivism in education can lead to improved student outcomes and a more effective educational system overall. Positivist approaches in education offer a structured, measurable framework for learning. However, they often fail to capture the nuanced, emotional, and social dimensions of education. These methods tend to reduce learning to just measurable outcomes, overlooking critical thinking, creativity, and individual learning styles. The emphasis on standardization can stifle student curiosity, intrinsic motivation, and the deeper, transformative aspects of education. We need to move beyond a narrow focus on testing and consider the broader, more holistic development of the learner. Positivism has been criticized for oversimplifying complex human phenomena. It reduces behavior and learning to measurable variables, ignoring the nuances and contextual factors. Critics argue this approach fails to capture the full richness and depth of human experience and learning. Positivist methods may neglect the important social, cultural, and historical contexts that shape how people learn and behave. This lack of contextual understanding can lead to incomplete or distorted conclusions about human learning and development. Behaviorism is a psychological approach that emphasizes observable behaviors and their connection to environmental stimuli. Behaviorists believe that behaviors can be shaped through the use of reward systems, where desired actions are reinforced with positive consequences. Negative reinforcement or punishment may also be used to discourage undesirable behaviors. This slide introduces the key principles of behaviorism, including the stimulus-response model and the use of reward systems in education and learning. Positivism and cognitivism are two important perspectives on how we learn and process information. Cognitivism, influenced by positivism, focuses on the mental processes involved in learning, such as attention, memory, and problem-solving. Cognitivists view learning as the process of receiving, processing, and storing information. Cognitive strategies like chunking information, using mnemonics, and practicing are used to enhance learning and information processing. These mental processes and cognitive strategies are key to how we learn and make sense of the world around us. Positivism and constructivism are two contrasting philosophical approaches in education. Constructivism emphasizes active, student-centered learning, where students build their own understanding based on prior knowledge and experiences. Learning is seen as a social process, with interaction and collaboration playing key roles. This is in contrast to the more teacher-centered, passive approach of positivism. The active, constructivist approach encourages students to take a more engaged, participatory role in their own learning. By building on their existing knowledge and experiences, students can develop deeper, more meaningful understanding of the material. Critical theory is an approach that challenges traditional positivist views in education. It focuses on power structures, social inequalities, and how these impact the educational system. The goal is to empower students to become critical thinkers and agents of social change. Critical theory seeks to transform oppressive systems and promote social justice through education. This is in contrast to the positivist approach, which aims for objectivity and neutrality in education. Positivism sought objectivity, but postmodernism embraces subjectivity and multiple perspectives. Postmodernism celebrates diversity in how we think, experience, and construct knowledge. Postmodernism encourages creativity and innovation in learning, moving beyond rigid, linear approaches. The images on this slide represent the key ideas of subjectivity, diversity, and creativity that define the postmodern worldview. Positivism in education often promotes universal standards and assessments. This approach can neglect the needs of diverse learners, as it fails to account for their unique backgrounds and learning styles. Standardized tests and curricula may reflect cultural biases, putting students from certain backgrounds at a disadvantage. We need to be mindful of these equity issues and find ways to make education more inclusive and responsive to the diverse needs of all students. Positivist principles can help us design differentiated instruction that provides individualized support for learners with diverse needs. Positivist research can inform the development of accessible learning materials and technologies, making our content more inclusive. Positivist approaches that focus on measurable outcomes and individual progress can promote inclusivity in the classroom. The key is using positivist principles and research in service of creating learning environments that work for all students, regardless of their backgrounds or abilities. The key focus of this slide is how positivist approaches and data-driven instruction can enable personalized learning for students. Data analytics can be used to personalize learning paths and provide individualized feedback to students, helping them progress at their own pace. Adaptive learning platforms leverage data to automatically adjust the difficulty level and content based on each student's performance, creating a more tailored learning experience. Learning analytics can identify individual student strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement, allowing teachers to better support each learner's needs. Overall, the data-driven and personalized approaches discussed here can help prepare students for the future by catering to their unique learning styles and needs. Positivist approaches can help us effectively integrate technology in education to enhance the learning experience for students. Educational software programs can provide interactive exercises, simulations, and assessments to engage students and deepen their understanding. Online learning platforms offer a wealth of digital resources like videos, articles, and tutorials that can supplement classroom instruction. Positivism, the belief that knowledge comes from empirical observation and scientific inquiry, can help develop important 21st century skills in students. Critical thinking is fostered as students analyze data, evaluate evidence, and draw logical conclusions from their observations. Problem-solving skills are built through structured opportunities to identify issues, test potential solutions, and assess the outcomes. Collaborative abilities are enhanced by group projects and activities that require teamwork and coordination. These positivist approaches prepare students to tackle complex challenges and work effectively with others, key competencies for success in the modern world. The key idea here is embracing a holistic view of education, drawing on the strengths of multiple educational philosophies. We want to create comprehensive, integrated perspectives that go beyond any single approach. A balanced approach is crucial, combining rigorous scientific methods with student-centered pedagogical strategies. The goal is to develop adaptive educational systems that can dynamically adjust to diverse learning needs and insights. This holistic, balanced, and adaptive approach is essential for meeting the complex challenges facing modern education. Positivist principles can be adapted to incorporate technology in the classroom, enhancing learning opportunities for students. Technology integration allows us to leverage digital tools and online platforms to support collaborative learning. Positivist methods can be applied to project-based learning, enabling us to measure student progress and learning outcomes more effectively. By adapting positivism for modern education, we can create engaging, data-driven learning experiences that prepare students for the 21st century. Positivism is a powerful pedagogical approach, but it can be strengthened by integrating other teaching methods. Blending positivism with complementary philosophies allows us to leverage the unique strengths of different methodologies. This creates more inclusive learning environments that cater to diverse student needs and preferences. By developing integrated teaching strategies, we can enhance the overall effectiveness and impact of our educational programs. The key is finding the right balance and synergy between positivist and other pedagogical approaches. Positivism is an important perspective, but it's crucial to balance it with other approaches. Critical thinking is key. We need to question assumptions and consider multiple viewpoints. Addressing equity and inclusion is vital to meet the needs of all learners. Empowering students to take ownership of their learning is a powerful way to engage them. Combining positivism with other frameworks can lead to more well-rounded, impactful education. The future of education is full of exciting possibilities through the lens of positivism. Adaptive learning platforms can use data to personalize instruction and cater to individual student needs. AI-powered tools can analyze student data, provide personalized feedback, and automate administrative tasks, freeing up teachers to focus on instruction. Emerging technologies like virtual and augmented reality can create more engaging and immersive learning experiences. These advancements can help make education more effective, efficient, and tailored to each student's unique strengths and learning style. The key takeaways from our discussion on positivism in education are: positivism provides a valuable framework for evidence-based practices, emphasizing measurable outcomes and data-driven decision-making. This is crucial for ensuring our educational approaches are effective and impactful. However, positivism should be integrated with other educational philosophies to create a more holistic and well-rounded learning experience for students. A diversity of perspectives leads to more comprehensive and inclusive teaching. Positivist approaches can be adapted to address the unique needs of diverse learners. By being flexible and adaptive, we can create learning environments that are accessible and supportive for all students. Overall, positivism is a powerful tool, but it works best when combined with other educational theories and practices to create a rich, multifaceted learning experience.